one thing I learned from David and Jonathan relationship, despite whatever had happened, they never disrespected each other. They just kept a close relationship, and then Jonathan was so authentic with David, and their relationship was based on the Bible. Everything worked for the glory of God, despite what happened. So another thing I noticed was with the favor of God for David was Abigail. David, at some point, when he was in the wilderness, God still let him do his work. God showed him, you know what, he still was a shepherd boy. He went and helped this man named Nabal. He went and do a whole bunch of other things. He went to kill the Philistines and do all these things. So that showed me, no matter what happened, how many times I'm stressed out, I still have a job to do. You crying, you going through your stuff, but service starts at 7 o'clock, put on your clothes and go to church. Don't put your problems in front of God. You give your problems to God and you continue your walk. Because in the midst of that, you will find peace in your heart. And that's where David found peace, because he also knew that in him helping the people of Israel, the Philistine, every time he won the battle, those people were free. Can you imagine David just stayed in that cave and stayed there and never came out? What would have happened to the people? What would have happened? They probably would have died. They would have been enslaved or in captive. But because David knew that God gave him a word, that he was chosen, no matter what had happened, no matter how scared he was, he did what he had to do. And Abigail also, to go back to Abigail, also Abigail's gift for David was that he interceded. She interceded for her husband Nabal, because back in the days, when somebody went and helped you to do something, usually if they ask you for help later on, you show them favor. But Nabal didn't show no favor. Instead, Nabal looked at him like, I don't care how many times you help me, I'm not going to do nothing. I'm going to go back to my house, count all my 1,000 of sheep and my money, and you hungry, that's your business, go back to your cage. That's something that hit me hard, because there was a lot of times I helped people, they had bills, or they needed a ride, or the church needed something, or at work my boss asked me to do something out of my title, and then you're hoping for recognition, you don't get nothing. And instead, what that will make you do, you really want to come out of character. Like, I did all this for you, and you didn't even notice. You can't even like pat me in the back and say thank you. No. So what happened was Abigail came through. Thank God that God always sends somebody to talk to you down, even when you're about to come out of character. Abigail came through, and she went before David and said, you know what? You remember, you're a Christian. God's just choosing you to do something. Don't come out of character for nobody. I'm here to tell you, continue to do the work of God. No matter what happened, you're going to be protected, because God anointed you and he chose you for something special. But if you do what you're planning to do, it's going to mess up everything else in the future. So despite whatever happens, how many times that people don't notice what you're doing, just continue to do it. Because if you go out of character to tell the head leader of the choir that you should be the soloist for that song, it could mess something up later on for you. Just wait for your time.
Amen.